Let's make some simple salmon croquettes. Here we start with a piece of wild caught salmon. We buy this at Costco a lot. We really like it. The quality is good and the price is really decent, and it's always fresh. Never had any real fishy smell or anything. So we're just going to cook it up. I'm going to pick a little bit of my parsley I have growing over there under the grow light and put a little bit of that on it. And just chop that up fine and melt a little bit of butter in the microwave to coat the aluminum foil. We're just going to bake this too. We're going to have a baked piece of it tonight, and then tomorrow when it cools we're going to make the croquettes with it. So you can see it's just a beautiful piece of fish, and Costco actually is about half the price of our local Wegmans and stuff. It's just and it's so much better quality. So a little bit of butter on there, a little bit of the parsley on there, and it's going to go in the oven for a couple minutes just to, cook it for tonight. So there it is. Nice piece of baked salmon. And all we did is we had it with some broccoli and some mashed potatoes that were left over from Easter. And of course, it's strawberry shortcake time. So here we are this morning. I'm going to take what's left of the salmon here and just kind of break it up into pieces and check for bones and stuff as I go through it, because every once in a while you find one. Like there's one little one, and actually that's all I found in it. Just one little tiny one that slipped by. Usually they're pretty good about it. There's usually none, but you can see it just chopping it up, breaking it up a little bit there. And then I'm going to take an onion, small onion, and just kind of dice it up real small. Throw a little bit of butter in the pan and just saute it up till it starts to get soft there. And that doesn't take too long. And when that's done, just stick that aside and let that cool for about half an hour. In the meantime, a little more parsley. Can never have too much fresh parsley in something like this. Mince that up a little bit. And that's going to go right in the salmon there. So this is really a very simple recipe that we use. It's not fancy, and not a lot of breadcrumbs, not a lot of peppers or anything else. Just plain salmon flavor and leftover mashed potatoes from Easter. We had a big crowd over Easter, and we had some leftovers, so this is how we like to use them. And one egg there too that escaped being hard boiled for Easter. We like to use those seasoned breadcrumbs there with the cheese in them. So let's start mixing this up here. Put the onions in the salmon, and then my wife's going to start mixing some potatoes in. And she likes to just do a little bit at a time, and looks like we're going to use them all, but she likes to just double check there's not too many. She wants to keep a nice mixture. And it gets all mixed up just about like a meatloaf does when you put one of them together. And a little bit at a time, and you can see it's just beautiful salmon, really nice flavor, and these are going to be wonderful. And a little egg in there to be a binder to help hold them together. And then just mix them up, and these are really a great treat. We like them, and this should give us a pretty good batch, so I'll be able to freeze a couple of them too when we get done. So again, it's just a matter of, making sure everything gets really mixed together so you don't have too much of anything. A little bit of salt in there. And then I had to grind a little bit of pepper in too. And it looks like all the potatoes are going in there. So good way to use them up when you have leftovers. So as I said, these are, really just a really plain, simple, nice potato and salmon flavor when you cook them up. Then make little patties out of them and just kind of push them down into breadcrumbs to make sure they get coated. Just gives it a little bit of a crust when you throw it in the pan and fry it up. So that's it, and just keep putting them together until you use them all up. So this batch actually gave us 8 really nice ones. So out of that one piece of salmon, we're going to get a bunch of meals. And you can see they're all, pretty really nice there. So there's the final amount we got. And that's going to feed us for a while. Now they just go in the refrigerator to chill out for a little while before we cook them. Little oil in a frying pan there. Nice, actually a lot of oil. Get that good and hot before you throw them in there. And tonight we're just going to cook 4 of them up. And we'll cook another 4 up tomorrow night. So we each like to eat one of them, and then we'll freeze the other 2. And they can be thrown in the air fryer just to heat them up and cook them up nice. So there it is. Get them browned up on one side. Oh, let's take a peek in there. Not quite yet. Give it another minute. Alright, time to just flip them over. Oops. We'll get it. There it goes. You can see a nice golden brown crust on them. So pretty much that's it. A couple minutes later, ready to have a nice dinner. And we have some garden beans from last year's garden and salmon croquettes. And these are going to go in the freezer when they cool down. So I just thought I'd share this and, just show you how we can stretch one piece of fish like this to be several meals. And every one of them is really excellent. And that's how we, eat a lot of fish, too. And I think this is about the simplest recipe that you could, make salmon croquettes from. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.